Floyd Mayweather, with the most Floyd Mayweather quote of all time. He did an interview with Fight Hype, talking about Inoue, butchered his name, of course. Gervonta Davis comes in, but Floyd Mayweather is not sold on Inoue. This was his thoughts on Inoue's win over Stephen Fulton. He said, even though he got the victory over Fulton, Fulton's not a heavy puncher. Donaire was giving him fits in the first fight, if I'm not mistaken. Donaire was close to 40. He was 36. So he should have knocked him out in that first fight. What I need Inoue to do is come fight in the USA, which he's done twice, random blood testing and urine testing, which he's done his whole career. I think he's a hell of a fighter. He takes a lot of stuff from my playbook, but it's okay. You're supposed to take from the greats. I would like to see him fight Gervonta Davis at a catchweight. That is the most loaded paragraph. That is the most Floyd Mayweather paragraph. Credit, taking credit away, inserting himself, factually incorrect all over the place. But he's building up a fight between Davis and Inoue at this catchweight that we don't think is possible. But what are your thoughts on Floyd just kind of, putting the flames down a little bit in a way?
Like you said, very Floyd-esque. What stuck out to me was him saying that he struggled with Donaire the first time. First of all, Donaire is an all-time great.
Yeah.
First ballot Hall of Famer as soon as he decides to retire. Fantastic fighter and nightmare power with the left hook. And he outsized Inoue. Inoue was smaller, much smaller than him the first time they fought. Listen, Floyd struggled mightily with Jose Luis Castillo. Most people thought he lost that first fight. He struggled with Maidana the first time they fought. Got cracked with a really good right hand that wobbled him, sent him back to the corner. And he beat both those guys in the rematches. He did not do what Inoue did to Donaire in the rematch.
Yeah.
Inoue iced Donaire he dropped him with the first right hand he threw and knocked him out with a left hook in the very next round. It was utter domination. It makes you almost forget the first fight. Mm-hmm. If anything, I look at the first fight as a positive for Inoue. It's like, show that he's a dog. And he can fight a tough fight, and he can do 12 rounds with a guy who's very, very dangerous. And then he comes back and he learned from the first fight fundamentally and strategically. So yeah, I'm trying to compare yourself to as Floyd Mayweather, compare yourself to Inoue, I think is a silly comparison. And all the other stuff, it's like, yeah, well, Floyd's been doing that his whole career. He's downplaying everyone just because everyone's so hyped on him right now, and he's getting clicks.
I get it.
I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. And it's the last line that was why he said all this. I would like to see him fight Gervonta Davis at catchweight. So there, in his mind, it's like, it's money. I want to.
He put on his promoter hat.
Exactly. He's the best promoter. He's one of the best promoters ever. I get why he does it. I mean, the random blood testing and the urine testing is what's really driving me crazy. And we posted this clip on our Instagram, and I love the engagement we get on our social medias. But it's like people are just saying, like, yeah, I need to see him fight in the U.S. for some real blood testing. I'm like, dude, it's VADA. It's universal. Like, he's been tested his whole career. Like, the whole point of that story during the Fulton fight week, where that guy from Fight Hype, coincidentally, this is the news outlet that did this interview, was insinuating that Inoue doesn't like taking blood tests, and who does? But he's never failed a blood test, never failed a PED test. They did testing throughout the break when he hurt his hand, and we had a break in the fight between him and Fulton. Like, that's insane. There's just a lot of ignorance when it comes to Inoue from American fight fans. They're still not sold on him. I understand it's just a comment section online, which can be the literal worst, but we're getting it from Floyd, the top. We're getting it from people in forums. They're just still not sold on Inoue. I don't know what this guy has to do. Just say that you haven't watched him fight. If you say, who is he beat? All he beat is Sean. Just say, I'm not familiar with his game. Like what Dame did. Like Dame said, I'm not sold on him. On Lillard, Dame Lillard said, I'm not sold on Inoue a few years back. And then he corrected it. He said, you know what? I went back and I studied. I watched his fights. I looked at his box rec. Dude's the truth.
He just did something amazing. He jumped up a weight class and fought the baddest guy in the weight class with a style that's very difficult to beat, and he completely dominated it. And he outboxed him. He outmoved everything. He completely outclassed the guy who is the classiest guy in the division, who's also bigger and the biggest guy that he's ever fought. And it was supposed to be a mega fight. It's kind of almost like the Crawford-Spence fight. Everyone gets behind this fight. Like, this is a mega fight leading up to it. And then it happens and it's one side and you're like, it wasn't that good of a fight. Well, yeah, no, it wasn't. But the matchup was still good.
What's
that?
Or the excuses come out.
The excuses always come out. And Listen, we're all going to talk about it because it's a talking point. We're going to talk about, was Spence the same guy, which, beforehand is another thing, whatever. Either way, you cannot take anything away from Crawford. He fought a brilliant fight, regardless of who was in front of him. Same thing with Inoue and Fulton. It's like, but Fulton was trying to stay at the weight or not. Inoue's got, he's loading his gloves and he's doing peds and come on, man.
That's what I mean. Like that's the.
It's not going to make a jab better. The guy's jab was awesome. Like, come on.
That's what I mean by the excuse. It's like for Inoue, we're hearing like PD stuff. I understand a little bit, like jumping up in weight. It's the same thing that Pacquiao got when he was jumping up in weight. The accusations come. It's because in your mind you're thinking that there's no way a guy can jump this many weight classes and become more powerful.
But he didn't. So that's another thing about it. Anyway, he did not become more powerful. His power was different at 22 than it was at 18. So he didn't go out there and starch Fulton. So yeah, he had to break him down, and he stopped him late. But like he had to break him down. None of those punches were like, at the end it was just like he had a beaten man in front of him. He had no answer. So that kind of puts that one to rest.
We'll get to this quickly. Floyd also said, when is Gervonta Davis going to get in the pound-for-pound list? Does Naoya Inoue deserve it? Absolutely. Does Terrence Crawford? Yes. Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Davis? They don't give him that credit because he's affiliated with me. We could probably do an hour-long podcast on whether Gervonta Davis belongs in the pound-for-pound. I think he has elite skills. I think he's an elite fighter. It's just the resume still. Wins. Yes, he hops up to 140, but he beats a Barrios who's not a threat or never really was a threat. His best win is probably Pedraza or Ryan Garcia. He's not interested, Gervonta Davis, it seems like, in winning these titles, going after Haney, or because he can make that fight happen, snap of a finger. I think he's one of the best fighters, and the only thing holding him back is him proving it against other champions or other A-level fighters.
Yeah, and I think not only can he contend with a lot of those guys, I think he can beat a lot of them.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I've been high on Gervonta a long time. We've talked about him on this show for over a year now. I mean, yeah, I'm very high on him. I think that he's excellent. He showed a new fold to his game, or something that I knew was there, but his technical prowess is there. He's very, very skilled. He's not just a puncher. His accuracy, his power, his fight ending ability is, it's all paramount. So let's see what he can do against the upper echelon guys too. He just really hasn't had that opportunity yet. So
maybe I do agree with Floyd then. Maybe that Floyd is the reason why he's not in the pound for pound list, because he's been advising his career, and beautifully, by the way. I mean, look at the guy. He's making so much money and he's selling out arenas. But he's just missing that one last thing, Gervonta Davis, is fight a Haney.
He's a dance partner.
He's a dance partner. I mean, Ryan Garcia was that dance partner, but we all knew that he wasn't on the same level. That was a commercial fight. It's the last thing for Gervonta to make him undisputedly one of the best fighters in the world, is one signature win over a legit champ. Not these Reggie titles that he has, 3-division world champion and all that. It's very like lightning bolt topic with Davis. Like, I think he's really good, but he can get rid of all this cloud, all this doubt by fighting one of the top guys, and I think it's right there for him.
He beats one of those guys, he's top 5 pound for pound.
Easy.
Like he might break into top 3. Like he's that kind of guy. He's that kind of talent.
I agree.
He just needs that dance partner.